Come here, my boy. Let me tell you a story. It's a story about the Prophet's grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, and the miraculous digging of the Zamzam Well. Have you ever heard of it?
No, Grandpa. What's the Zamzam Well? And who is Abdul Muttalib?
Well, let me tell you. Abdul Muttalib, one night he had a dream. And not just any dream, mind you. In this dream, he saw someone telling him to dig for the Zamzam Well near the Kaaba. It had been hidden for generations, buried under the dust of time. But this dream, it was clear, and it came to him again and again.
What happened to the well? Where did it go?
Well, Abdul Muttalib was an honorable man, the leader of the Quraysh Tribe. He was respected by all the Arabs, and he did something that changed the history of Mecca forever. You see, the Zamzam Well had been buried for many years. It had vanished from the memory of the people, and only old stories remained about it.
That's so cool. Did he know where to dig?
Yes, he did. When he woke up, he remembered the vision well. It reminded him of the old stories about how a spring of water had miraculously appeared when the baby Ismail, peace be upon him, was thirsty in the desert. But the Zamzam Well, it had been lost. The people of Mecca had heard of it, but no one had ever found it.
So he tried to dig it up.
Yes, but when he told the Quraysh about his dream and pointed to the spot near the Kaaba where the well was buried, they objected. You see, there were two idols there, Asaf and Naila, and they didn't want him digging in that place because of the idols they worshipped.
That doesn't seem fair. Why wouldn't they let him dig?
My boy, in those days everything was about tribe and power. Abdul Muttalib didn't have many supporters. He had only one son at the time, and people didn't take him seriously. They thought it was a fool's quest, but Abdul Muttalib was determined.
What did he do?
He prayed to Allah, and in his heart he made a vow. He said, "If you grant me 10 sons, and if I succeed in digging the Zamzam Well, I will sacrifice one of them to you." Pauses, letting the weight of the vow sink in. Can you imagine? A father vowing to sacrifice one of his own children in the name of Allah, if his wish was fulfilled.
Wow, that's a big promise. Did he really have 10 sons?
Yes. Not long after, his wife bore him more sons. Over time, he was blessed with 10 strong boys. And as they grew, Abdul Muttalib's family grew in strength too. When the time came, and his sons were old enough, no one dared stop him from digging the well. He fulfilled his vow, and with his sons by his side, the Zamzam Well was uncovered once again. Water flowed forth, just like in the old stories. People rejoiced, and Abdul Muttalib became even more honored among the Arabs.
That's amazing. But did he really have to sacrifice one of his sons?
Yes, my boy. It was a promise he had made to Allah. It wasn't an easy thing for him. But remember, Abdul Muttalib had faith. He knew that whatever Allah had planned was for the best. And so, the time came when he had to decide which son he would sacrifice.
What happened then, Grandpa? Did he sacrifice his son?
Well, that, my boy, is a story for another time. But know this, Abdul Muttalib's faith in Allah and his dedication to his vow is what paved the way for the great legacy that followed, a legacy that led to the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Wow, Grandpa, that's a lot to think about.
Yes, it is. The story of Abdul Muttalib teaches us the importance of faith, patience, and sacrifice for a higher purpose. And it's a reminder that sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that lead to the greatest blessings.
Wow, Grandpa, that's a lot to think about.
Remember that, my boy. Now, how about we take a walk? I think there are more stories out there waiting for us.